places you used to know. Home is potential energy, condensed, contained, constricted, aching to break free, to be wild and alive and reckless and kinetic. Home is a root buried deep in a solid foundation, gnarled, knotted, and strong enough to stand on when the soil slips beneath your feet. Home is a drawing in the dirt of a square with a triangle hat and a pair of stick figures living happily ever after, until the rain comes and washes the drawing away. Home is a somber trudge. Old shoes caked in mud from 4 different states. A worn army jacket. Faded tattoos and scars of needle marks in the crook of your elbow. Home is a winding road without destination. A whisper of a breeze. A promise suspended in the limbo between your lips and his, her ears that you wish you could take back. Home is the silence between words. The inhale before a sigh. The shudder before a sob. Home.
My mother abandoned me and my brother and my sister. Worst moment of my life. Mom was gone and my father was in jail. I looked around at all my friends and they had this support system. They're dependent on their parents.
I wasn't prepared to start taking care of my parents, and I'm pissed. Nobody really talks about that. They talk about how hard it is to raise kids or to be a parent, but not take care of your parents. I mean, your parents are supposed to be these people that you can look up to, and then suddenly this? When you're little, all you want to be is your parents. When I was 7 years old,
I scrawled, "I hate my mom," in Sharpie on the headboard of my bed. She saw it that night as she was tucking me in, but she didn't say anything. She read me my favorite story and sang me a lullaby, kissed me goodnight. But as soon as she closed the door, I heard her burst into tears because I scrawled, "I hate my mom," in Sharpie on the headboard of my bed, and she believed it was true.
I'm homeless from a divorce. I don't blame anybody for it. You're divorced and you're a guy, you lose a lot of things. My kids, I lost them first. Then the apartment, then the car broke down, couldn't get it fixed. Living on the streets, it's rough. You can't do anything on your own.
My parents can accept that I'm different than they are. There's a lot of, how are you going to get a job? How are you going to support yourself and your family? I'm trying so hard to graduate, to get a job in my degree, but mostly to prove to them that I'm completely in control of my life.
Well, I thought I was. I had this great job, earning $300,000 a year, making rich people richer. But my son didn't want to follow the map I laid out for him. He started robbing places when he was a teenager. One day, I was sitting outside the courtroom with my ex-husband and a sea of other parents who had called off their minimum wage jobs to take the bus or walk to this cold, ominous federal building. Here I was, this rich mother, surrounded by poor mothers, wondering where I had gone wrong. Then my son came out in his blue jumpsuit, his hands cupped behind his back, his black and blue eye. I was so embarrassed. My son committed suicide in his solitary confinement cell 3 days before his 25th birthday.
I met my mom when I was 19. That was an accident. She has 2 other kids, and as they've gotten older, they've reached out to me. My sister asked if she could see me, saying she missed me and she loved me. I've never even met this girl before, but I decided last minute that I would meet up with her. However, beforehand, I told her that I don't want to meet your mom, I don't want to talk to her. I only want to talk to you. So I met up with her, and as I was sitting there talking to her, I looked off into the distance, and I saw this woman coming toward us, and I just knew. I looked at my sister and I said, "Is that her? Is that her?" The woman came over and she was crying and saying, "I love you, I love you." But I just couldn't bring myself to say I love you back.
I love my sister more than anyone, but I think she's dying. No one's told me, but I can tell. We live in the same house, but she feels like she's miles away. I don't understand. One day she was here, and the next day she wasn't my sister anymore. I miss her.
Started using drugs in high school, paying pills. I tore a muscle in my knee playing football and slowly got progressed to heroin. I've been to 3 different treatment centers, 3 months, 6 months sober, here and there, but I always went back to it.
I was emotionless. I'd gotten picked up for solicitation by an undercover person and knew that there was nowhere else to go but jail or death.
This is just temporary. This is just temporary. This is just temporary.
After she passed away, every day was laying in bed with him, passing out. My senior year of high school, my dad took his life. I was 17.
To breathe, how the shadows breathe, dance with demons underneath your paper skin and your porcelain bones in the garden where your darkness Every rose has its thorns, every devil hides his horns, every truth is a double-edged sword, everyone dies the second they're born. Learn to breathe how the shadows breathe, dance with demons underneath your paper skin and porcelain bones in the garden where your darkness grows. Every light casts its shade, every heart is built to break, every beautiful face will break, everything falls when everything fades. Learn to breathe how the shadows breathe, dance with demons underneath your paper skin and porcelain bones in the garden where your darkness grows. Every silence ends and screams, every garden chokes with weeds, every lust could be yours to keep if you learn to breathe how the shadows
in junior high, my friend Molly and I had this game. It started as a joke because we were both super klutzy, tended to get random bruises on a daily basis. So every day, we would count our new bruises and see who was the bigger klutz. As time went on, I started bruising myself on purpose. I think she did too. I punched the metal bedposts of my bed until my knuckles started to swell. I won the game that day. But I didn't do it for the game. There was this morbid satisfaction that bubbled inside me when my skin began to discolor and my body throbbed in time with my heartbeat. And I was addicted to that tender look that people would get when they saw my bruises. Just a little bit of pain earned so much love.
Enemy, familiar friend, my beginning and my end, broken truth, whispering lies, and it hurts again.
Months passed. Molly and I were still playing the game. And most of the time, I won. But one day, she showed up to school with gauze on her wrists. She said it was an accident, so I believed her. She won the game that day.
What I fear and what I try, words I say and what I hide, all the pain I wanted to end, but I want it again.
On the last day of school, one of my other friends was hosting an end of school bash. Everyone was there. Everyone except Molly. Molly went home after school, locked herself in the bathroom, and swallowed an entire bottle of pills. And then she sat down on the cold white tile and waited to die.
Still the same, pursuing pain. Is it worth all I have gained? We both know how it will end, but I do it again.
I imagine it took longer than she expected. Was she counting the minutes or counting the people who would miss her when she was gone?
And it finds me, the fight inside is coursing through my veins, and it's raging. The fight inside is breaking me again.
I was supposed to be her best friend, and I was only interested in love when it was produced through pain. So for years, she gave me her pain, hurting herself to earn minuscule moments of love. And I was too fascinated with my own pain to pay any attention to hers.
And it finds me, the fight inside is coursing through my veins, and it's raging. The fight inside is breaking me again, and it finds me. The war within me pulls me under, and it finds me. The fight inside
a text from a distant friend, reminding her that she was loved. So Molly made herself cough up the pills. She made herself live. And to this day, she's been a beacon of hope and love to everyone around her. I don't know who sent that text. I don't know how they knew to send that text when they did. I don't even know if they know that they saved Molly's life. I think they saved mine too. That day, Molly won the game. For good. No more punching bedposts. No more slit wrists. No more self-inflicted pain to earn a moment's worth of attention. The game has changed. Life has changed.
come from, you can hardly take a step without shattered hearts crackling underfoot. Hearts like glass treasuries of hopes, desires, dreams, scattered on the sidewalk, kissing asphalt at the corner of life and liberty.
Where I come from, we bribe gravity by weaving wings of green sheets of presidential papers so we can play tag with the stars. Funny how our definition of stars has altered since we were children and we silly puttied plastic solar systems to our ceilings to glow yellow every evening and grant us permission to dream. Have you seen a star recently? Where I come from, we smothered the stars with spotlights, swam in the swamp of our own selfishness, self-consciousness, subconsciousness, teetering off the stage on which we play our endless part. To be or not to be.
To stand under the blazing gravity of those spotlights, or to slither to safety. To slumber? To silence?
Quiet is violent. Where I come from, surrender is no savior, and shelter no friend. Victory costs valor, costs character, costs perseverance, costs tribulations. Safety is a journey without destination, and standing stationary in the wings will never carry you toward achieving the dreams we dreamed when we were children, and we silly puttied plastic solar systems to our ceilings.
Dreams we dreamed, when we padlocked our hopes and desires in the glass temple treasuries we carried safely behind our breasts, and when they ripped them out of our chests,
When they stepped on our hearts.
When our dreams spilled out onto the asphalt.
we could have stopped then, hunkered on the corner, the street lamp our spotlight, the sidewalk our stage. We could weave a garland of wilting blossoms and paint a wood cross white, lay it beside the chalk outline of our decimated lives. We could list our way through limbo till curtain close. Or we could walk on. Where I come from, we could all be heroes, masters of the art of breaking, metamorphosizing, redefining, daring to dream in the face of shattered dreams, daring to believe, to become.
Luminous spheres of hydrogen, helium, and hope. We could be more than trampled glass hearts or dollar bill wings. We could be more than actors on a stage reciting lines, reciting life, curled up under street lamp spotlights. We could be more than who we've been or what we've done, more than where we come from.
Where I come from is not where I am staying.
Where I come from is not where I am headed.
Where I come from is not who I am or who I will be.
Where I come from is only where I come from. Once upon a time. That's how all the best stories start, right? In the beginning, you have an underprivileged protagonist faced with some seemingly insurmountable adversity. Fast forward, and you have a silhouette riding off into the sunset. Happily ever after. Sounds a little too good to be true. But I think it depends on how you look at it. The best stories may start and end with once upon a time, and happy ever after, but the best part of the story is everything in the middle. The journey. There to here. Here to somewhere. It's not the destination that matters. It's the drive. The marathon, the blistered feet, the heavy sighs, extra shifts, empty pockets, overdue bills, glasses held together with masking tape. Tries and failures and tries and failures. Try and try and try again. Then the triumph. The transformation. There's one more story to be told tonight. It's not the most prolific story in the book, but it is true. It's full of adventure, discovery, tragedy, comedy, wonder. Oh, there is one hitch. This story, it's not over yet. There is no happily ever after. There may never be. But that doesn't mean this story isn't worth telling. There's one more story to be told tonight. Yours. When you each entered the theater, you were given a sheet of paper and a pen. You will now have 5 minutes to write down your story. A moment, a memory, a challenge, a triumph. You then have 2 options for your story. The first is that you keep it to yourself. Read it over a couple of times. Re-experience that moment, no matter how painful. Assess what you learned from it and how that moment sculpted you into who you are today. The second option, and my personal favorite, is that you trade your story with someone near you. Read their story as they read yours. Read their story as if it were yours. Breathe their breath. Feel their joy and their pain and their love. You will learn much about them, but more importantly, you will learn much about yourself. At the end of the 5 minutes, there will be a final performance, so don't run for the hills just yet. But when the performance is finished, please leave your stories where you are seated. Your 5 minutes begins now.
I have this theory that some souls sort of get stuck on their way to heaven and just end up kind of floating around stars. I kind of hope that's true. I'm not sure that I'm heaven material, but that'd be okay if I could be a star. Don't think I'd be the brightest star, but I'd certainly shine as bright as I could. That's more than I can say that I've done here. I have a home now. I got a bed as soft as a marshmallow. I'm afraid I'll fall all the way through it right to the floor. I got walls and a fridge stocked with food and a roof over my head. And the funny thing is, sometimes I wish I could peel that roof off like the lid of a jar, just so I can see the stars again. I miss them. They were my only friends for years. And now they seem so far away.